All right, y'all. Quarterfinals recap. We're gonna try and go as fast as we can with this, but I have some things to say. First, sudden victory, 1-1 point. There were 5 in the championship side of the quarterfinal. 3 of them were Iowa Hawkeyes, my team. I am a homer, but I do admit I'm tired of the 1-1s because I see it all the time with my favorite team. Dean Peterson wrestled Lillidahl very well. Still 1-1 sudden victory. Create some action. Do something. It was 1-1 because of Dean Peterson, not necessarily because of Luke Lillidahl. And there's no blame to go around. I'm just saying. Luke was trying to get a takedown. Eddie Ventresca against McGowan. McGowan beat him in his own game. I've been saying that Ventresca will get beat in his own game if he continues to wrestle like that. He did that as soon as it got to a point where if I take a risk, I could not All-American. And then here we are. McGowan with a huge victory. PK and Karshla were the other one. And you look at that in the bracket and you say that's probably going to be a 2-1 match, and I'm tired of that. Angelo Ferrari and Sinclair went to 1-1, and that wasn't Aiden Sinclair's doing either. He was trying to score points. Angelo's defense is insane, but 1-1 sudden victory. Come on. And huge win, Angelo. Good job. Good job. Good freaking job. Go get Max. Camden McDaniel and Stephen Little also went to 1-1 sudden victory. I will say, and this leads me into my next thing, scoreboards, why can't we get them out of that? Why can't we raise up the mat a little bit and have the scoreboards at the end of where it's raised up at? That way it's not getting in the way of takedowns. Because McDaniel was taken down, but Little did not get the takedown because the scoreboard was in the way. And he's not the only Wask. He's done it twice this tournament, where Ruiz was working towards a takedown. He used the scoreboard, and he did the same thing to Steed today. All right? All right, 125 pounds. Spratley with the huge win. Dean, like as I mentioned, how that went. Same with Ventresca. And McGowan and Moran, a 14 and a 10 in the semifinals. Both All-Americans. Great job. That'll be a great match. I have McGowan and Luke Lillidahl in the final. Ayala and Bird. Pretty good match. Not all that exciting. Blaze is very tough positionally. He's so good. 4-3 Blaze. Davino beat the crap out of Bird. Same with Seidel and Larkin. Seidel beat the crap out of Larkin 16-1. I think that was in the second period. And Jack's doing Jack's things. He got attacked in the first period. And I said Forrest All-Americans as a high schooler. Dead ass. He's supposed to be an ass. Be in high school. Knox did beat Fugit on the backside. At 125, Buzakis and Peterson is huge for the team race. Whoever wins that match. And V-Rob and Ventresca meet again in the backside there. Van D meets Baker to see if they All-American. That's a pretty interesting match. Ayala will get Lee or TK Davis. I didn't see who won that match. And Knox versus Larkin in the blood round. That'll be a good match. 141 pounds. Nasir also with the scoreboard. Nasir ran Vega into the scoreboard. Vega was not happy at all, and I wouldn't be either. The ref literally had to get in between them and say, hey, let's shake hands so I know we're good, and they wrestled. But Nasir Bailey knew where he was. Don't be doing that. Big win by Vega. Good win by Vega. Echemendia, Stanic, great match. Stanic got the takedown in the third period and rode him out. That's the way to go get a victory. It'll be interesting to see how he does against Mendez. Mendez wins that match. So Cornell and Hardy was a good match too. They had great scrambles. Yeah, Hardy Vega again. I think. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Consiglio took out Olivieri in the backside. Davis beat Titus, but then lost to Composto. No All-American at 141 for Penn State. And the Sear will have Henson or Tyler Wells. I believe Henson won that match. So that'll be going for All-American this year, Bailey. Swiderski and Van Ness. Great match at 149 pounds. Swiderski wrestled tough. They both wrestled tough. It was a great match. 2-2 tiebreaker. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, good match. Good action. And Itoki State, Penn State. Everybody wants to see that. Young and Lamer. Lamer in the semis as a 20 seed for Nebraska. I love to see him do well because I believe he had at least a top 8 seed at Cal Poly. If I remember correctly, I was thinking like 5. But yeah, good to see him do well. Wazalewski got pinned by McNeil. McNeil into the semis against Aiden Valencia. He's the most exciting wrestler of this tournament thus far. Well, Jax Forrest is the most exciting wrestler. Aiden Valencia has had the most exciting matches that he's won and how he's won them. Happy to see him go on and beat Joy. Crazy. Crazy comeback. 112-9 in that match. He'll have McNeil. And Aiden Valencia, he's going to the final, I believe. It'll be against Van Ness. So, yeah, Ryder Block won both his matches on the backside. He will have Carter Young in the blood round to see who All-Americans. 157 pounds, Shapiro Waters. I did not see much of the match, which crazy to me. I was focused on Robidoux and Larkin a lot. I was watching Duke beat the crap out of Cannon for a little bit. Duke beat him 21-5. But Waters pulls out the win against Shapiro 6-5. Great scrambles from what I saw. Great scrap. Robidoux and Larkin, they had great scrambles, and they had a great scrap. Amazing match. Last sequence in regulation was crazy. There was no takedown, but it was spectacular. And Robidoux went and got the... I think he got to go behind. Go 9-6. He's on his way to the semifinals. And that'll be interesting against Duke. Duke's winning that match. Waters and Taylor. Ty Waters to the final, as I said earlier in my little short that I had. Wyatt Hendrickson during that, he just said, these kids got to go have fun and let it fly. And it's true. 100%. 100%. And take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. Go, let it fly. Swisher over Zurban on the backside, and then Swisher beat Miller, Ethan Miller, to meet Cannon in the blood round. That'll be interesting. 165, Caliendo went and got a 14-3 victory with over 3 minutes of riding time. Gave Iowa their, first All-American of 2026. Denny and Blaze. I did not see much of this match. I was paying attention to Caliendo, Ruiz, and Alver, and then Hepner, in Messenbrick at the beginning of the match. But Denny lost 4-3. It looked like he was fighting hard at the end. Good win by Blaze. Caesar Alvin, with the W, 4-2. He's still going out there and winning matches. He beat the 2 Big 12 guys. Man, it's almost like we should have separated conferences or something. Hepner wrestled tough in the first period. Had a stretcher brought out for him and went right back out on the mat. 6-0, though. 6-0. I stopped paying attention to it after Messenbrink got his 4 near fall. But 6-0 is what that ended. And, Lockett over Arujo for Nebraska in the backside. I saw Lockett was down. I'm not going to look it up, but I'm pretty sure Lockett got to the blood round. If he did, he wrestles Will Denny. EJ Parco will wrestle Bianchi or Gallagher for blood round. I thought that was interesting. Go Stanford. Stanford's having a freaking tournament. Ruiz and Karshla in the blood round at 165, and Gatan and Facundo. That'll be interesting. PK and Karchla. Good win, PK. I knew what you were going to do. I didn't know if you were going to win, and you won. Great job. Go Hawks. Second All-American for the Hawks. Minto and Gaitan was a good match. Minto ended up winning that pretty handedly, but there are a lot of good scrambles, which you get out of MJ Gaitan when he's on the mat. Steed and Wask was a good match. Went to overtime. I didn't know if it should go to overtime. Cam Steed looked as if he might have had a takedown, but didn't go through. Cam Steed hit a body lock 9-2 in overtime. Good match. Haynes and Brockman. Haynes whooped him. So we move on to 184 pounds. Angelo Ferrari pulls out the victory. Aiden Sinclair had 5 shots. He was in on that single multiple times. Couldn't finish it. Angelo's got great defense. It's boring to watch that though. Like, great match, great win against a great opponent. I just dislike waiting until the end to see what happens. I really do. And then, luckily, it was a takedown that took care of it. It didn't go to tiebreakers. Stop complaining, Peyton. You get what you get out here. All right. McAnally and Knightenbach started out pretty interesting. It got to 5-4, and then it ended 8-6. I saw a lot of action here and there. I was mostly watching Angelo and Aiden. Welsh won 7-1 by injury default, and yeah, good to see him score. Soldano and Mantanona. Mantanona got the fall in 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Zach Ryder got through to the blood round, and he will wrestle all red to see if he All-Americans. I've been surprised with him. He's being gritty right now. And not that all of them aren't, but Zach Ryder is hurt bad with the shoulder. Dang it. I didn't see if Nick Fox won. He was ahead. Cartagena Walsh did beat Fishback. And then Cartagena Walsh wrestled Conway. Conway won that match. So Conway will have Sinclair as the 4 seed. He will not All-American, in my humble opinion. Hawks and Novak. I was looking forward to that just to see if Hawks could keep it going. He lost 17-5 to Novak. Merrill and Cotton. 8-3 Merrill. And I do have to mention, I absolutely love Merrill post-match. Just standing there with his hand. Fucking straight face. Just shake my hand so I can get off this mat. I just got done kicking your ass. I just love it. I think it's great. McDaniel and Little, 1-1 as I talked about earlier. And to get to 1-1 sudden victories, someone had to force a stall to get a stall point. That's about as bad as a 1-1 sudden victory match can get. Okay? And Little went and got it. Kudos to you, man. I'm glad it didn't go to tiebreakers. Thank you for getting the takedown. Posada and Barr. Barr beat the living shit out of him 19-3. Arnold. Gabe Arnold, baby. He's still alive on the backside. Saw him win his last match in the session before I hopped on here. But he has Remy Cotton in the blood round, and that's a winnable match. That's all Gabe Arnold can ask for. That's all Iowa fans can ask for. Is that. Sasso got beat by Lehman from Ohio. At least I believe he's from Ohio. And Geog beat Rademacher. And I thought Sasso and Rademacher were gonna go to see who gets to the blood round, but no, they just decided to lose before then. So what else do I have? Hawks will have Stout or John. I didn't see who won that match. And Posada gets Geog or Lehman. Interesting stuff, 285 pounds. Doucette and Trumbull was the match that I was watching. And was not Trumbull. Dominated. I was watching Keeter and Bastida, actually, mostly, but the one I was looking forward to was Doucette and Trumbull most. Keeter has freaking heavy hips and a freaking hard whizzer. There were a couple shots, like there was the one shot in the third period where Bastida was in, lifted him up and everything, and freaking Keeter just threw it in and then threw his body out and then wizarded him. And like, it was just crazy. I thought for sure he was taken down, but no. But Keeter needs to attack throughout the match. Keeter needs to attack throughout the match. They have to. Iowa Hawkeyes wrestlers have to be being taught to wrestle the way that they are. They, I don't know. There's no other explanation for this. There isn't. And I'll post a video about that stuff later. Katka and Gadiali. Gadiali won 8-0 with 4 minutes of riding time. Moro and Ferrari, I was surprised that was as close as it was, 4-3. And I do also... Does anybody wonder what the hell AJ Ferrari is saying to the opponents that he beats after matches? He never does this after he loses. He never tries to kneel down and pray with them and talk about whatever the hell he's talking. I had one of my friends talked about this, was like, what the hell is going on there? And it's made me like think that even more. It's not that I didn't think that before, but I love AJ and what he brings to the sport. Off the mat is off the mat stuff. I'm here to talk wrestling, and I have opinions. Nothing's personal. It's just simply, I love watching wrestling, and I have a perspective, and I observe it, and I speak about what I observe. If you have a problem with it, that's perfectly fine. Okay? Also, during that match, JB on the MacCast was talking about how he was most excited to watch AJ and how he has fandom for his alum. And then he went into talking about this is why Nebraska goes and gets the athletes, goes and outbids higher program, like more prestigious programs for wrestlers like AJ Ferrari. And it just made me have a thought. It's just like, JB, you're talking like you're trying to be the Nebraska head coach. Mark Manning, are you retiring? I ain't starting nothing. I just have thoughts. That's all. And that would be amazing if he could. And then Jordan Burroughs obviously has access, and he's being told things that are going on in the program. He's an alum. He's the best alum from Nebraska. He's arguably the best in the USA history ever. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Keeter will have to wrestle Amos to get to All-American status in the blood round. Mirasola got beat by Carroll 9-6. And Pitzer beat Feldman 10-1. 10-1. I find that to be a bit nuts. Okay. All right, this is after AJ Ferrari's match, but the team scores. Penn State has 103.5, Oklahoma State 64, Nebraska 57.5, Iowa 48, the Ohio State 42. So we have an interesting team race going on. We do. Now we got 6, baby. Okay. Iowa Hawkeye stats. Okay? Through the first 3 sessions of through the first 3 sessions, they are 21-7. They're 21-7. This morning they went 6-4. Everyone, cumulatively. Oh, just a second. 7-4 with Gabe Arnold's win. Okay, they've got 3 All-Americans. And they got 6 in the blood round. All 9 are alive on Saturday night. How much better can it be? As far as I'm concerned, it cannot be. Because it is what it is. And that's what the Hawks got, man. And we could get 9 All-Americans tonight. We could. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I would go as far as to say that we'll probably get 6. I'm going to say 6. And that's what I have for my quarterfinal recap. Enjoy the dog bone. We don't get this we get this once a year. The dog bone. The dog bone! The dog bone! Let's go.